Well, it took us a while and we didn't get the results that we were hoping for. So what we are trying to do now is testing for the last time, for today at least, how these services in question are of course Twitch and YouTube still might work side by side after we have done a tremendously great job fine-tuning all the settings here and there. Now it seems that the price we had to pay was that we can't enjoy the 4K quality that we were so eagerly seeking to reach. That's due to the fact that we are, well, it's very important that you all know. So that's due to the fact that we are utilizing the same settings that we are using for our dear Twitch. And if that's how things have to be, then we are probably going to have to just play along with that. Let's see. The sort of thing I'm now experiencing or experimenting with is what happens if we change the quality. Do we get upscaling, or can we just use the same initial screen that we are able to capture? All this is very exciting since computers can be quite mysterious devices. Don't know if you have realized that just yet, but so for now it seems that things are working somewhat, at least, and by fine-tuning the settings just a bit we were able to get both let's see, I'll just get rid of that. Both settings that we so seeked to reach, but we also still have some memory left on the GPU card. Alright. Now the thing we are most curious about is whether this will actually work during a game, since so far it seems that we have dropped 0 frames, which is a good start, but then again we haven't been playing or loading too many resources. So it might be that in-game things are going to look quite different. But we will see about that. In any case, it's very curious, this world we are living in, where one with a rather ordinary computer might dream of doing this sort of tricky plays. These sort of tricky plays, such as streaming to multiple channels simultaneously. So still we are facing very few problems, which is good. The only thing that's working against us is the fact that there aren't too many players online, presumably. Now let's study the delay a bit. And hopefully we will be facing someone who is delighted by our playstyle. But we will see about that. Fun thing perhaps worth mentioning is that our delay on on Twitch is just a few seconds. Few seconds ain't too much. And then skipped frames, still close to 0. And we are done loading. And we are only using half of the GPU memory at our disposal. DDL is not someone we might know necessarily. They are playing as Franks, which doesn't sound like a real arena civilization, but more like as if someone might choose when not knowing how the game is played, but I might be a bit too harsh on this. Presumption of mine. Double lure. And then our map doesn't look too great. But it's the best map that we have. Oh. Right, well we have the second deer there, so that's good. And I'm also wondering whether our... nope. Nope, nope. Well, some idle time and so forth. And we also forgot to build some helpful additional buildings. That's what you get sometimes when playing at this level. Alright, so after this you will go there and then you will go there. And it's going to be all rightish. Alright, well, we'll just see how it goes. And then a boar. So here's one and there's the second one, right? Oops. Well. Alright, then we will rush back home and call it a day. And what a great day it will be. Oh, people. Well, that's odd, but that's also alright. Alright, well, that's a first. So they lost their scout. Well, they could have lost their scout, and that's a GG moment. Alright, that's the kind of high quality content you are hopefully expecting to witness. They have played 2,800 games. So alright, let's test whether this works. So far we have not missed too many frames. And things look quite alrightish. But then again, we never got too far in the game. So pushing the deer, they are idle TC time 1 second. I'm curious to see whether they had any other misplays. At least their dealers are better, or pushes are better than ours, and then off it goes. That scout. Perhaps after watching the game they might come to a different conclusion regarding the resignation of theirs. That's so weird, but alright. Oh! Also, the thing worth noticing is that I never changed the scene. So, sloppy plays, left and right. But the thing worth noticing is that, well, resources collected, very good. How come we are already 300 behind in? Well, it's because of the walking distance. Fewer we have, and so forth. Alright. So perhaps the timing was working in our favor, and they were focusing on their villagers or these herdables or something. Then the scout gets trapped, and there's no way back from that, as we all know. Alright, and we got just a few frames that got skipped. So it has to do with this. Let's see if we could adjust this slightly more. Now it might be that this isn't actually making too much of a difference, because let's see, because we still have the in-game view as well, but and I'm getting some curious flickering. Alright, let's see if it's also happening there. Debugging as we go, as you can tell. Well, perhaps it had to do with the changed focus. Alright. And then onwards, as we say. So we got through with that very simple game, of course, with very little happening, without losing too much. Too many cycles in the process, but But it would be a curious thing to see whether this actually works on the YouTube. So let's see. Of course, we still have some threads we can pull, for example. I don't know. So for example, we can reduce the settings or the graphical beauties that we have. And then perhaps by reducing the quality, we might get more resources to make it run all this streaming. But there's something weird happening with this. The stream, it seems, but oops. Let's just see if there's if there are tools for us to fix. So arena and bird goat is our newest friend. Let's have a trip outside now that we have some time for that. Ooh, what was that? No skipped frames that I'm aware of. But it seems that our very important YouTube stream for some reason is not actually working all too well. Let's see if there's something we can do about it. Oh no. Nope. Yeah. Well, we might only hope that our opponent is as eager to resign as our previous arena opponents have been, since the start has been a little shaky, perhaps. Some might say. And then in the future, before day 50 or so, we might have solved all these problems and are again able to focus on things that actually matter. So let's pick that notable, which is playing the game and making as few misplays playing it as possible. So our base is quite limited. So we could open this a bit. Still keep some. Right, yes. Safety for ourselves. And we have quite a few units doing all sorts of fun work. And we don't need gold, we need... Well, nice attempt there. We need boars. And we could have used the barracks builder to help with that, but perhaps eventually. And right, I better remember that we have these folwarks. Ooh, does it work now? No. Or for some reason, it seems that we are a little slow to So back there you go. A little slow to catch up with the whereabouts on stream. That's alright. Well, you two, you go there instead, and then it's going to be alright. So they scouted us very quickly, or rather quickly, which is very suspicious. And we are, well, soon few more houses just in case. We are soon in a situation where we might start thinking about farming. There you go. No. We don't need you, actually. Right, back you go. Yeah, we shouldn't be out there because they are an age ahead, but well, that's sort of thing that sometimes might happen. So our misplay there. No worries, we'll be having our revenge later on. So the worst thing is that we are spending our very important resources, by which I mean on you. Yes. By which I mean the computing resources, and we are getting very little in exchange because this YouTube stream does not seem to be Working all too well. Alright, but we'll see. In the nearest future, we will see.
Gotów jestem. Sprawia, tak.
Then farms.
Jestem sprawiaczką. Jestem sprawiaczką.
Du.
Jestem sprawiaczką. Rozkazania. Jestem sprawiaczką.
Witajcie. Sprawiacz.
Jestem sprawiaczką.
Rozkazania. Witajcie. Rozkazania. Tak,
Hmm.
gotów jestem. Witajcie. Sprawiacz.
Well, there you go, and then you shall carry on that way. Few archers.
Jakieś rozkazania?
No,
Do broni! Owszem!
you
Atakujmy!
go there. One more spear. Few archers. You could go there.
Tak,
Then
gotów jestem.
you could become
Jestem sprawiaczką.
stone miners. And then we should be
Witajcie.
getting the
Witajcie. Jestem sprawiaczką.
all the wood that we need. Sorry, all the food that we need. Since it's great to be
Sprawiaczką.
poles.
Jakieś rozkazania? Do broni! Owszem!
Right, and then we are again expecting that they will be
Gotów jestem. Sprawiacz. Sprawiacz.
surprising us
Jestem górnikiem. Rozkazania.
Jestem
soon
sprawiaczką.
enough. We don't need gold, but we could probably build a few. Ooh,
Jakieś rozkazania? Naprzód!
so let's show the archer.
Do broni! Jakieś rozkazania? Atakujmy! Pojmuję was.
Alright,
Do waszych
and then carry on.
Owszem! Atakujmy! Jakieś rozkazania? Do broni! Tak, panie!
And then you could carry on like that as well. And up we go. Okay, being poles is
Sprawiacz.
quite alright, I feel, because we have such a nice eco already.
Pojmuję. Jestem górnikiem.
Jakieś
And we
rozkazania?
haven't done too much
Do
to
broni!
really
Jakieś rozkazania? Owszem!
deserve that, I don't think.
Naprzód!
So Saracens, a castle, yes. Sounds like something that might happen. Few skirmishes just in case. But would they be competing for? Let's get this stone mining upgrade. Then loom as the first upgrade.
Jakieś rozkazania? Do waszych pojmuję was. Atakujmy!
Tak.
As soon
Rozkazania.
as we get there. Coal mining, sure, why not? A few more
Gotowa
villagers.
jest.
Well, I don't really know what to do, but the thing I'm curious about is their uptime, because it's a little late. We have been producing
Tak.
so many things already, and
Gotowa jest.
Jestem górnikiem. Natychmiast wykonam.
alright, let's actually you there. Crossbow would be nice. So, where is their presence of everything?
Rozkazania.
So, a castle there,
Sprawiacz.
and then
Tak, panie. Dobrze. Tak, uczynię. Dobrze.
what?
Tak uczynię. Pojmuję was. Dobrze. Tak
Oh,
Jakieś
a
rozkazania?
monk.
Waszych ust. Tak, dobrze. Tak uczynię. Owszem. Tak, pojmuję was.
Few knights, alright.
Naprzód. Tak, panie. Do broni. Pojmuję was. Tak uczynię. Pojmuję was. Atakujmy. Tak, panie. Do broni. Tak, uczynię. Jakieś
It's too bad that the monk happened to be there because, well, it's time to get some upgrades then. Well,
Gotów jest.
Do waszych usług. Owszem. Do waszych usług. Jakieś rozkazania? Tak uczynię. Do waszych usług. Do broni! Tak, panie. Owszem.
luckily they weren't
Tak.
here, or they didn't.
Waszych usług. Tak, panie. Owszem. Jakieś rozkazania?
Hmm.
Pojmuję. Tak uczynię.
Or they, luckily they chose the path that they did, because otherwise we would be in a difficult position.
Witaj.
But alright, so university would be nice. Second folwark would be nice.
Jestem sprawiaczką. Jestem sprawiaczką. Jestem
And then
sprawiaczką.
up.
Jestem sprawiaczką.
Ah.
Natychmiast wykonam. Jestem
Yes.
sprawiaczką. Jestem sprawiaczką. Jestem sprawiaczką.
Well, some misplays here and there, and then if there's someone left, you go there. Then what are we missing here? That's weird. Okay, let's target these buildings instead. So, what we might be doing is a siege workshop, why not?
Jestem sprawiaczką.
And then
Jestem górniczką.
you could send
Rozkazania. Jestem
these
górnikiem.
people down here to build a second castle,
Do waszych usług.
if possible. Then this might be just, let's move it a bit. So where are you people? There, okay.
Witaj.
And then you could also join us and build us a castle.
Jestem
There.
sprawiaczką. Tak, jestem sprawiaczką.
Very good. More wood. Right.
Gotowa jestem sprawiaczką.
Rozkazania. Gotów jest. Natychmiast wykonam.
Oh yes, eventually things are going to be just fine.
Jakieś rozkazania? Tak, panie. Pojmuję was.
Now they are probably just aiming to get to the last age, which would be Imperial Age, and that would be alright. Are we queuing more than we actually have a need for? Now, if they are just booming, then this is little dire, this situation of ours. So 2 relics they have inside,
Jestem sprawiaczką.
but
Owszem.
alright. So they are quite cornered,
Do waszych usług.
presumably.
Atakujmy! Do broni!
Let's study the map a bit. Cheaper knights, that's great. But is that something that we might want? Let's try to just go through
Jakieś rozkazania?
like this.
Do waszych usług. Owszem. Do waszych usług. Do broni! Jakieś rozkazania? Atakujmy! Do waszych broni! Do broni!
Hmm.
Jakieś
So
rozkazania?
we might not have too much time, but let's not worry about that too much.
Owszem.
Because now the only thing we are actually interested in is getting through.
Jakieś rozkazania?
Gotów jestem. Jestem górnikiem. Sprawiam.
Owszem. Pojmuję was.
Ooh, a castle. Well, perhaps we
Rozkazania miast wykonać.
build ours here then
Pojmuję was.
instead.
Tak uczynię.
Witaj,
Oops.
obejmuję.
Well, we don't want to build a castle there then. So this one will do. That's alright. No ballistics, that's alright. Okay.
Natychmiast wykonać.
And then you could repair this a bit.
Gotów jestem.
Oh, well. Something had to give. So they have 2 castles already. Should we be getting to the next age then? Presumably. So some of you could be farmers and like this.
Owszem. Jakieś rozkazania? Do waszych usług.
So Mamelukes can be seen.
Do waszych usług.
Let's see if they will
Owszem. Do broni. Jakieś rozkazania?
follow us out there.
Tak uczynię.
They don't. But they almost did.
Witaj, natychmiast wykonać.
Too bad that they didn't.
Jestem górnikiem.
We are not quite getting this castle. But it's not far off. Okay.
Gotów jestem.
Then we could have few more
Prawie. Jestem górnikiem.
buildings like this.
Do waszych usług.
And then what upgrades might we want to get? Oh, they converted that. Didn't realize, but I will know next time. So what do? We are not booming.
Sprawiać.
Perhaps we might add some units to make it look like we could do some of that. Then we have lost all the castles that we did have earlier,
Rozkazania. Sprawiać.
which is
Sprawiać.
sad, but
Sprawiać. Drwal.
not the end of the world.
Owszem. Pojmuję was. Pojmuję was. Tak uczynię.
And then what? Few more.
Do waszych
Hello.
Atakujmy! Owszem. Jakieś rozkazania? Do broni! Atakujmy! Do broni!
Well, these are quite nice. Alright.
Jakieś rozkazania? Owszem. Tak, pan. Naprzód! Pojmuję was. Atakujmy! Tak, pan. Naprzód!
Okay. So then, you without good. A few more villagers could go there as well, and we are surprisingly even. Chemistry, 300 food.
Pojmuję was. Do waszych usług.
Didn't take too long, so perhaps we will prioritize that.
Gotów jestem. Sprawiać.
And then we still have this siege workshop
Pojmuję was.
and
Atakujmy!
standing.
Atakujmy! Do waszych usług. Atakujmy! Naprzód! Do broni! Atakujmy!
And they are adding more stables, that's alright.
Do broni! Atakujmy! Tak uczynię. Do waszych usług. Pojmuję was. Tak uczynię.
Their approach is a bit
Do waszych usług. Tak uczynię.
well,
Gotów jestem.
slow perhaps. Not that it's bad necessarily, but just a curious thing.
Witaj.
So a bit of farms, that's what we want.
Rozkazania.
Just like that. Few more food cutters and then just stay back. And then how do we get more food? by queuing villagers. That's one way to do it.
Witajcie. Rozkazania.
Then we might want to have
Jestem sprawiaczką. Jestem
a few more
sprawiaczką.
buildings to help us work. So we still have only 66 villagers. And they are booming with their
Owszem. Ojmu, tak, dobrze, tak uczynię.
knights play,
Ojmuję was.
presumably.
Ojmuję was. Dobrze, tak uczynię.
Let's see if they are there
Jestem
already.
górnikiem.
If not, then that's
Sprawiacz.
obviously a place for us
Atakujmy! Do broni!
to enjoy.
Dobrze, ojmuję was. Ojmuję was. Atakujmy! Ojmuję was. Do
Right.
broni!
And then
Gotów jestem górnikiem.
there you go. What? Gold. Right. Well, it makes sense since we don't have too many. Oh no. Okay, well let's give up on that then.
Do waszych usług.
So we don't get halberdiers, which is a shame, but it's not the end of the world. But gold we might want to have. So let's
Gotów jestem.
send few people out
Jestem
there
sprawiaczką.
doing just that. Although there's a risk that we might be losing
Tak.
Jestem
some of them.
Witajcie. Tak.
Jestem sprawiaczką. Jestem sprawiaczką. Jestem sprawiaczką. Drwal.
Right. And then more people, thank you very much.
Jakieś rozkazania? Naprzód! Do waszych
And then we could
broni!
start pressurizing our enemy just a bit. Hmm, 450. It's gonna take forever.
Jakieś rozkazania? Ojmuję was. Do waszych usług. Jakieś rozkazania? Atakujmy! Do broni! Atakujmy!
Rozkazania.
Owszem, do broni! Jakieś rozkazania? Tak uczynię. Ojmuję was. Atakujmy! Naprzód!
Alright. Well, that was a nice attempt. Oops.
Tak uczynię. Owszem, ojmuję was. Do broni! Do waszych
Well, we can always get more of these, so no worries.
jakieś rozkazania?
But you go back to work,
Jakieś rozkazania? Tak uczynię. Do waszych
and you get rid of these.
owszem. Do waszych usług.
And then, oops.
Ojmuję was. Do broni! Atakujmy! Atakujmy! Do waszych usług. Atakujmy! Jakieś rozkazania? Tak uczynię. Owszem, tak uczynię. Jakieś rozkazania? Do broni!
And then just
Do waszych usług. Owszem, ojmuję was. Ojmuję was.
you go there, and a few more units. Their approach is very weird. Like, of course, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just very weird.
Jakieś rozkazania? Ojmuję was.
So let's send a few units there to help with this. And then,
Jakieś rozkazania? Do waszych usług. Tak uczynię.
alright. One castle denied.
Atakujmy! Tak, dobrze. Tak uczynię. Atakujmy! Ojmuję was. Do waszych broni! Jakieś rozkazania? Do waszych usług. Jakieś rozkazania? Do waszych usług. Atakujmy! Tak, owszem. Do waszych broni! Tak uczynię. Owszem.
Alright.
Tak uczynię. Do waszych usług.
And then perhaps a few more units doing any kind of work. That's good. I'm not sure what to do. We don't have too many farmers or anything,
Sprawiacz.
but we could have,
Sprawiacz. Drwal. Rozkazania.
since farmers are great. Houses, let's build some here.
Jestem sprawiaczką.
Like this. Why not?
Do waszych usług. Dobrze. Atakujmy! Do broni! Dobrze. Tak uczynię. Naprzód!
You could help a bit. So I don't think they have too much anything. Well, they took all that stone that was over there.
Gotów jest.
Perhaps you could
Drwal.
try to
Sprawiacz.
get that for us then, and then... Well, we are queuing quite a bit. Or it's still just a university. And they got it. So let's destroy it before it causes any harm to us. This would be nice. 600 wood.
Witaj. Sprawiacz.
Right.
Rozkazania. Sprawiacz. 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 Drwal.
Based on the score, we are still doing alright, but it might also be just a matter of time before they... Oops.
Sprawiacz. Sprawiacz.
Nope. Right. So we might want to get some upgrades for our units then.
Rozkazania.
So
Sprawiacz. Sprawiacz.
the sort of units we might want to play around with a bit are, for example, hussars eventually. So it feels like they are cornered, but I'm afraid that that is not the case. And then we have lost some
Witajcie. Tak.
units we might have liked to keep alive. Let's build a defensive castle just for the sake of it. And how do they think
Rozkazania.
of getting back to the game then?
Jestem sprawiaczką. Jestem
It's a very curious thing,
Jestem sprawiaczką. Jestem sprawiaczką.
in my opinion.
Jestem sprawiaczką. Jestem sprawiaczką. Jestem sprawiaczką.
For if the game continues like this, then there aren't too many things that's going to happen. Triple damage, yes.
Rozkazania.
And then more stone. Varför inte, as we like to say in... Oh, hello. Finland as well. And then they have their own
Witajcie.
Jestem sprawiaczką.
group of hussar. Alright, their own group of archers. That's neat. So let's move you back a bit, and then you could move forward a bit. And then this is the greatest time, if there ever is one, to show them the strength of our horses. So they wanted to get oops. Well, I lost the cannon, yes, but luckily they also lost something in the process. But so it felt, or it feels like they wanted to get
Jestem sprawiaczką.
ballistics, and then there's the next castle. Let's just make use of the little resources that we have. Alright. Oh, and we wanted to get devotion eventually, yes. So is the case such that they are just producing and outproducing us when we are sitting idle? Up.
Gotów jestem.
And we could get us some gold, why not? I'm not producing too much. Well, that seems like it could be the case, actually. Well, alright. Then perhaps we could face their hordes soon enough. Fate. No, I don't think we need that necessarily. You could be there. We don't need this castle. But we need more people on wood, so let's make that a priority.
Sprawiacz.
Thank you very much. And then perhaps some cavalier as well, just to get some extra. Need shields. Alright. Then what about the upgrades that we are lacking? Extra range would be nice, yes. Gold we are still getting. We don't need more pikemen currently. Could just produce few more ponies. Where is this? Oh, there. Okay. Alright, let's get rid of those then. Then we could have just a few of these. And then away we go. Right after these messages. Hello. So they don't have murder holes. That's alright. Alright, we still have superior cavalry if we ever need it. So let's just enjoy that. And then we have some people without things to do. A few more farms. Sure, why not? And then you could go there. Help your fellow friends. And do we have more resources? No. Okay. Alright. So did we get attack versus buildings? Sure, why not? Ambushers. Few trebuchets, sure, why not? Let's just get rid of those. So they have a neat looking army. But if only we would produce, we should be able to outproduce them, because they only have this single gold mine over there. Alright, goodbye. Then they are hoping to get more. Alright. Resources, but we should be able to. That's fun. Right, but we are going to need more units if we are to make this, if we are making this work. If we are to make this work. Well, it makes sense. Ooh, the trebuchets. The invaluable units. We need more
Rozkazania.
production buildings, so
Jestem sprawiaczką.
few stables,
Jestem sprawiaczką. Jestem
few archer ranges.
sprawiaczką.
Good. Alright. And then we could just destroy this. Kill these. Get rid of those. You might want to kill that. Or those three, actually. Goodbye. We still have a very good, well, number of units.
Rozkazania.
Somewhat healthy army.
Sprawiać.
Why not?
Sprawiać. Rozkazania. Sprawiać.
But of course we wouldn't want them to have
Do broni! Atakujmy! Do broni! Atakujmy! Naprzód! Do broni! Tak, pak! Naprzód! Atakujmy! Do broni! Naprzód! Atakujmy!
up. A misclick, but not the most terrible one. Alright. Let's just keep on producing. And there we go.
Do waszych usług! Do broni!
And then the thing we need is rams, for example. And there you go.
Jakieś rozkazania?
And you would go there as well. Because we don't care about these too much. Let's get rid of these. Ooh, even walling. That's neat. Okay. Oops. Oh, have we been here for long? Not for long. Of course. That wouldn't be our style. Alright, so more units. Somewhere like there.
Gotowam jest.
It's alright.
Do waszych usług!
And then we could have some.
Jakieś rozkazania? Atakujmy!
Do, 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 do.
Do waszych usług! Jakieś rozkazania?
Um, so Saracens, so what are they trying to do with the little that they have? Oh, hello. A blacksmith. That's a clever thing to have.
Do waszych usług! Jakieś rozkazania?
Oh, but this is not the cleverest thing.
Do waszych usług!
On the other hand, well, we could go help. Since we still have some units. Oh, right, here. Alright. Help your fellow friends. And do we have any army elsewhere? No, we don't. Okay. Few more farms. And then you could move here. You could go there.
Jakieś rozkazania?
Go there, for example.
Jakieś
Rozkazania sprawiać.
Oh, Juvet's just stuck. That makes sense. Alright. And then some more archers, sure, why not? And we could invest into an onager, but there's time and place for everything, and well, we might have just lost that for nothing, but we shall have new ones. Let's convert while we are still alive. So they still have some gold available, and but not too much. So if we are not losing too many resources fighting this, if only we weren't losing too many resources. Ooh, well, that's clever. Shoot! Nice try. And then back in they go. I'm not quite sure what their winning condition is at this stage, but they could be just trying to outproduce us. They have relics, so that makes sense. That's always a nice thing to have. But what else? Right, so there you go. Let's get rid of those. Up. Then once that's gone, alright, we could help here, help out a bit. And we could just carry on. Get rid of that. We destroy this. Get rid of that. Yeah, housed. It's been a while, but it's happening again. And then we have the cannon right. Okay. Well, this should be a game, unless I'm missing something. So they should be destroying our eco, but that's not what they are doing. And perhaps it's time to produce a somewhat defensive castle, just in case. Well done, everyone. Let's move down a bit. Ah, they just dare. Help. Alright, then we will need more units of different qualities. Oh, we could have the cheaper knights, but we do have. So, oh, so you've been here. That explains some of the losses we have had. Right, so there you go, and you might go there, why not? So how much is it then? 30 gold. So cheap. So we have trample damage. Ponies, that's neat. Let's kill these, and then they have more stables. That's neat as well, but they don't know, or they don't realize, or they don't care about the fact that they are even repairing. That's neat. So we should have Q that's quite difficult for them to outbeat. Let's go there. But well, they have been raiding as well, so that's good for them.
Jakieś rozkazania?
And there we go. Take 2. And
Do waszych usług.
inward. And you might want to go there. More units, because for some reason it seems that we are falling a little behind.
Do broni! Owszem, naprzód! Do waszych usług. Jakieś rozkazania?
And there you go. Let's get rid of some of these villagers. And ooh, they had a really nice backspace. Oops. This is exactly what we were afraid of, and now it happened. So that explains why we aren't getting as much resources as we hoped we might be getting. So we have lost 50 or so villagers. So I think it's time to rebuild some. Perhaps you could go there and you could go there. Right? Oh, help! Alright, and then we could take back that gold. Oh, right, okay. Then we will just carry on as usual. So we don't care about losing those houses necessarily, I don't think. So long we still have few left. Right.
Rozkazania? Witajcie. Sprawiać. Rozkazania?
Oh.
Sprawiać.
Right. And then back to farming. Well, at least this is fun, so there's that. And unlike Faye, we are still pushing, so hey, very good.
Jakieś rozkazania? Tak uczynię.
So let's repair this. So for some reason they are collecting this group of... Oh, this is terrible. Just
Do broni!
spamming like the best days are still ahead of us. Which is partially true. And then more horses. Some of you might come there. And then what? Let's take that. 91. Ooh, trying to save a relic you are. Nope. Oh. Well, our map presence should be somewhat better. We don't need this many people on various resources, but alright. Let's just go there. Hello. So what are they converting actually? Let's destroy this and then carry on there, for example. Or perhaps I'm not just seeing something. So they had knights. Are they hiding here, or did they lose them in the heat of the moment? Oh, right. There you go. So there's a pikeman, that's neat. I don't know why I have to score late, but GG. GG, well played. I think you defended that well as the raid. That's right. I have lost multiple castles and all. You kept breaking into. Cheers. So, we had a... Take care, you too. See you around. So, Bird Goat, newest friend to be added to our list of friends, which is nice. And then one of these days we are going to try to solve how come this YouTube stream of ours is a very laggy one. But we will see about that. Game wise, I don't think they managed to read the I don't think they managed to read the game correctly, is what I'm thinking. Let's see if we can adjust the settings and make things still work. Besides that, we have some clean up to do. Let's see if we are verifying the source. Oh, that's probably quite right-ish. Just doing very important fine-tuning here. Not sure whether that's better than it was just a while ago, but we shall see. But in any case, we are live, but it's going to take some more adjusting to actually work. Alright, but in any case, I think the way they approached this was a little slow, like is often our case as well. But let's see if we can. So Bird Goat, a friend of ours, who has played 1500 games already. So yeah, they didn't have the eco. They had the eco upon reaching the Imperial Age, but then they stopped producing, and that's how we were able to make our play. Alright. Few things of interest. Whether our streams still stay functional, and then how was their game plan? So far looks alrightish. So doing all the ordinary expected things. Only have had half a minute of idle TC time. Like we have as well. The mining camp is alright, but the villagers are moved in or around it awkwardly, yes. This is a really nice backspace that they had. Very similar to ours, in a manner that there's just enough gap that if they destroy these walls, then well, this tree will hold us out, but we had a very similar setup, so everything's fair on that front. So they had a couple of minutes of idle TC time, and that's why we are in a position where we are currently. And they saw that castle thanks to these scouts. No, they saw it right away because they have downwatch. No, because of the monastery, the gate. Well, I guess I'll never know. Oh yeah, the gate has a larger visibility. And they got a little lucky that they only lost few villagers in the process. Or we got lucky that the castle builders were in reach. And then this mining camp. So the reason we managed to pull this game for ourselves was because they had few questionable plays here and there. So now they are rushing stone for a castle. They are still playing with 1000er only. We have one still as well. But now here, luckily we noticed that this is not going to work, but we could have also realized that this is not going to work. This Obuk could have made some extra damage, but luckily he was stuck behind this castle. Then they are fetching the relics, losing a monk, but the only thing we needed was rams with the spearmen, for example, garrisoned inside. But yeah, so thanks to their eco, they have been expanding it now, but we got a chance to play the game as slowly as we did. Because now I'm like, if we weren't in the Imperial Age, I think we would be close to dead, but luckily they are soon seizing on this villager production for some reason. So they are pop capped, they have cleaned, like here they should be moving out with all that they have. They should be destroying all these forward buildings that we have. But they are taking their time, and that's how we managed to take as many resources as we did. Here we could have perhaps prevented that from happening. And that. But luckily we have learned that these Mamelukes aren't the greatest against archer line. But here, like, this is nice sniping and all, but this is also a waste of time. They should be just pushing forward. If their army was there to protect this castle building approach, they would have managed to pull it off. But instead they are too afraid to move out to take these resources that belong to them, these as well. And we are able to utilize those for some extra time. And now we have also gotten the lead in the village numbers. They are floating resources. Yeah. Well, we are also floating little resources. And basically if we had the powerful cavalry units, for example, we could just run in. Well, their archer numbers are now slowly increasing, but this build-up phase is time when we could be taking benefit of them. And we had just enough units, these archers and skirmishers, to hold them back for quite some time. But this castle should have been, well, there, for example. This is very careful, very afraid approach or fearful approach from them. And now I'm like, I don't know if it's because of the score or what, but I think if they played more aggressively, this would have been a difficult composition to keep out from our base. This like 40 plus archers is a very deadly group of units as well. And now they're just slowly adding their eco, but they haven't produced more villagers for in a while, so 30 winged hussars in the queue. We are only producing from 4 stables, presumably. So this position probably feels better to them than it actually is. And we shouldn't have given them chance to get more gold. We were just slow to add these production buildings. But if we had like 10 stables and or archer ranges here, then we would have had enough units to push them back, because now we have queued 40 winged hussars, so it's double the amount of food that we have in the stockpile. But since it takes some time for those to pop out, they are not really visible. Our army numbers are quite even, and we are just playing with our prey, more or less. Now the difference is that they have produced few more villagers, but they haven't produced as many as they would need. So we have killed 50 villagers already. They've managed to kill 25, but only 25. But they have resources, so what are they actually doing? So hussars are in the queue. Well, and then they are producing, just building more stables. I don't agree with this choice, but I've made this statement earlier. And of course, our problem was that we didn't have 12 stables. But like, if they are able to queue up, let's say 5 or something like that, 2 nights now, like all they needed was a handful of stables. They had those already. They could have built farms with those. But now, after a few raids, of course their raid is incoming, and we are not going to notice that anytime soon. But we have killed 90 villagers. They are down to 50. And then this comes a little late. Like, they could have gone through the walls 15 minutes ago already. But now we are finally pop-capped. And our problem is that we don't have defensive structures. Like, they could have just run, they could have run under the castle if they wanted, with that group of units. But let's see how many we are going to lose. So we have 25 villager losses as it currently stands. They are running out of gold and stone, and this is their play. So 13 and 25. Meanwhile, we are doing some kills of our own. We still have a healthy number of units, and I don't know if they realized that we also have gold. Well, it's visible. So they should know that we are well prepared for the game lasting longer than seems feasible for them. But we have lost, what, 25 already, 30 villagers soon now, and we are still going to lose a few more before, so more or less all of the villagers that we have. So we were down to 69 villagers, still more than they had, and now they are balancing. Buying food. Right, because they need more villagers. That's a terrible thing to do at this stage. But yeah, that's a good rate. We lost 46 villagers in a course of few minutes. And we are only we have only 55 hussars in the queue. So it shows here as well that we might have lost few units. But this is the this explains the score difference the fact that we have been fighting under the castles, we could have run past those and just parked into their farms instead. But instead we played this in a little passive manner. So where are these going now? Well, they were heading home but never reached that. And they are down to 20 villagers. Yeah. So the reason they still have the score lead is that we are constantly... Ooh, halberdier, that's great. We are constantly throwing away our units, wasting resources. But it just doesn't matter when the numbers are as they are. But that was a good raid. And the score lead would have gone soon enough. But yeah, they were constantly defending, and that was how the game ended in our favor. They had the army earlier on, so if they had only used that, it would have made it that much more difficult for us to carry on. Yeah, so murder holes, very important tech that they got as well. We could have fought for the relics based on the amount of gold that they got. Yeah, buying resources with gold is that's something I usually might recommend doing on Arena, but they were in a deep distress. Alright. That was a surprisingly good Arena game. All things considered. So thank you for witnessing just that. Now let's see, are we... struggling on the YouTube still. Well, it seems to be the case. So, for our next stream day, we will see if there's something we could adjust just to make this work in a more expected manner. We'll see about that. But thank you for having me, and hopefully you will have a splendid day in the nearest future. Perhaps right away if possible. And if for some reason it's not possible, then the next at the next date convenient, which could be as soon as tomorrow. Take care, see you around, and bye bye.